It's December 2025, and if you're anything like me, you must be asking yourself, where has 2025 gone? We think that time passes quickly nowadays because we are getting old and also we are busy in our life. But the neuroscience tells a different story. In this video, we'll talk about two concepts that explain why time is passing quickly and what we can do to slow down time. The first concept is called repetition suppression. Scientists conducted an experiment called Oddball Effect where they showed participants same thing coming up on screen every few seconds. For example, it's shoe, 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 then all of a sudden there will be a car or a ball. And then they asked participants how long did they feel that the image on the screen were present. And surprisingly, the participant perceived that the image of odd thing in the experiment stayed on the screen longer, although they were on the screen for the same time. So what it tells us is that our minds get activated when we see something out of ordinary. So the reason why we feel that our time is passing fast is not because of our busyness, it's because of our routine. When we do the same thing over and over again, the mind thinks, oh, it's the same thing, it's expected, it does not make any new memories. And this is very well explained in another paradox, which is called holiday paradox. So when we are on a holiday, and that time, in that moment, we feel that time is going really quickly, but afterwards when we look at that time, we feels like we were there for quite a long time. We remember all the meals, we remember all the activities that we did. And if I ask you, what did you do 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, you might not remember. But if I ask you that you landed in Spain on Monday, what did you do on Tuesday, you will very well remember. When our mind is making new connections, when our mind is getting that input which it hasn't seen before, it makes us perceive that the time is going slow. When we are young, we see a lot of different things and our mind makes a lot of connections and we're able to remember a lot of those details. I'm going to the same place for the last 2 years, 3 years for work. I get in a car, I have a same pattern. I'm not living 365 days, I'm living the same day 365 times. And that's why it feels when I look at my last 1 year, January, February, March, I can't really recall what I did on those months, except for the months when I went to a different country. Again, holiday paradox. Feels like those are the only chunks of time which actually pass slowly, and that sort of gave a shape to the year. And that's the reason why people are still stuck in 2019, because that was the time when they couldn't travel, when they were living in the same house, they were not going out, so everything sort of slowed down. So we can assume that the time is going fast, or we're perceiving the time to go fast because there is no novelty in our day-to-day activities. We're doing the same thing over and over again. Now, how can we make time go slow? So I'll share you a few tips that have worked for me, and they will definitely work for you if you're stuck in a loop where you feel years are going by really quickly. Number one is break the pattern. What do I mean by that is when you leave for work, every day you get in a time wrap, you sit in a car or you sit in a train and you're at your work. You're taking the same road, same route every day. Your mind is not making any connections. Once in a week, do something different. Take a different route. Go from a longer path. Maybe don't take the motorway. Take the village routes, or find something that is interesting to do on the way while you're going to work. That will help you remember that day. Break the pattern. This does not apply only to your commute. This applies to everything. If you're used to of doing something a certain way, find something new. And number two, experiment more. What do I mean by that? When we go in a shop, we usually pick out the things that we are familiar with. We go in a restaurant, we look at the menu, we end up getting the same thing that we always get. We go in a shop, we take the thing that is familiar to us. For once in a while, experiment something that you have never tried before. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. Just £5 a week will give you that novelty. And the third thing, which actually puts everything in perspective, is having the analog hour every day. We are so glued to our phones and screens that everything feels like a blur to us. I cannot recall a time when I didn't have my phone with me at home or at work. So what I'll suggest you do, and I have done it, and it's one of the best things you can do, is have an hour where you're not using phone. Keep the phone away. Maybe every day from 6:30 to 8, you will not be picking up phone, and spend only 3 to 5 minutes. There are 24 hours in a day. I'm suggesting you spend 3 to 5 minutes picking up one thing about the day. Just write it on a notebook. This is a bullet journal notebook, something like this, anything, but it has to be analog, not on Apple Notes, not on Notion. Just pick this up, write the date, for example, 1st of Jan. What was different about this day? One sentence, just one sentence, nothing more than that. And when you look back at it, after a year, 365 sentences, 365 days of memories, your mind remember times when you're creating memories. So these are the memories that you will create. And the last thing is, look for something that makes you think, wow. As simple as that. Go out somewhere. If your routine does not allow you to take a lot of holidays and go to different places, what you can do is, once in a while, just go to a park, look at the sunrise. Not very hard thing to do. It's inconvenient, I know that, and that's what this channel is about. It's about understanding where we have to be efficient and understanding where we have to be mindful. So once in a while, maybe on every 17th of a month, or every time it rains, go to some place which you have never been before, or do some activity, watching the sunset, watching the sunrise, or trying a different restaurant. So look for those wow elements when you are out there. And those will be the key anchors. Our mind needs anchors to have a clear picture of the timeline. And that's one of the reasons we do not succeed in our yearly goals as well, because everything is so squeezed together. So find those anchors. Every month, if you could find 3 to 5 anchors, that will help you slow down. And by the end of 2026, next year, if you have written every day one sentence only, you will see that your 2026 will be stretched so far. Thank you so much for listening to my struggles and my solutions to my own struggles. In the next video, I'll be talking about how you can increase your goal completion rate by 400% and why yearly goals do not work in most of the cases and what is the method that I use. Please, if you find any value in this video, please do subscribe. I am on a mission to create a community which is on the same wavelength as I am, a group of people who are facing the same problem that I'm facing, and together we will explore solutions that will be more mindful, more intentional, and that will help us live our lives in a more fulfilling way. Thank you very much.